In this video, guys, we'll look at which trading strategy should I start with. Stay tuned. Hey guys, a warm welcome to you. Alright, so which trading strategy should I start with? This was a question from a viewer or a subscriber, and he said, where is he? He is TrunX04, TRUNX04 or 04. Thanks for your question. I appreciate that a lot, and I appreciate all your questions. By the way, guys, lots of videos coming up answering your questions when I can. So keep firing them in on all the comments and what have you. So this guy says, and I assume it's a guy, could be a girl, he says, hey, I've got a question for you. Been struggling for a long time just to get started with trading, even paper trading. Any advice on a trading strategy / setup which I could use to start and test this out? Great question. Great question. Okay. So the problem that a lot of traders have, myself included, and I've talked about this, a video might well be up. If it's not, make sure you subscribe, because the new video will talk about my kind of worst trading strategy to start off with and my best strategy to start off with. So there's that, but this question is about, okay, what strategy should I use? I just haven't got a clue. If you're like me, TURNX04, was it, or 27? I've forgotten what it was. TURNX04. And everyone else out there, you probably started out and going, right, I want to do this, I want to do that, and you trade and you just feel like you've got nothing. You're just losing money and you don't have a strategy. You kind of dip in and out of things and it's frustrating. You might be on a demo even, or a real account with small money, but there's just zero, you feel like you're getting zero traction. You're just not getting anywhere. Maybe you get a little bit of traction and you're giving it all back, or maybe it's just random, your results. And that's normal. That's so normal. So the first thing is, don't sweat about that. If you can't get anywhere with it, don't worry about it. What we'll do, if we can, in this video, is give you a little bit of structure to get moving forward. So the first thing you need to do is to get rid of as much noise as possible and decide which market you're going to trade. Now, me personally, I like the indices. I like stuff like crude oil. I like some of the major stocks, but forex, if you want to trade forex, then fine. Be aware that some of the forex pairs at the moment at the time of this video are very much news driven. So I believe that they're very potentially dangerous for traders, not necessarily by the massive spikes, but because they negate standard strategies that are usually driven by supply demand, but are now driven by news headlines, which is a different strategy completely. So be careful of things like, you know, in fact, all of them at the moment, maybe not so much a yen, but definitely euro, definitely dollar, definitely pound. You know, those. So perhaps look at the indices like the Dow, like the DAX if you're in Europe. Not so much the FTSE, not a huge fan of the FTSE just because the ATR is not so much, but just pick something, okay? Pick something. It could be any one of those, but make sure it's aligned with what you're trying to achieve. If you're a day trader, you want a reasonable range and a tight spread. And I've done a little video where I talked about picking that, but pick a market. Okay, so your first thing is your market. And like I say, I would personally, just because I like it, the DAX, the Dow, those kind of things, I think those are two, there's enough meat in either of those, and in whatever time zone you're trading, it's suitable, so pick one of those if it was me. But I don't oppose you if you say, well, I want to trade gold, for example. Right, the next thing is you want to look at a strategy. Okay, and I know the question was what's the strategy, but the reason I said about the market first is because we want to try and find a strategy that works with the market we're trading. One of the big problems, the mistakes that I made was trying to trade too many things at the beginning. I'll be trading FTSE, I'll be trading gold, I'll be trading silver, I'll be trading cotton, I'll be trading coffee, I'll be trading this. Waste of time. Just for now, you want to focus on one thing, become a specialist in one market and one strategy, one step at a time. You can add more strings to your bow later. If you commit to this, you'll get much better results than trying to go broad, especially in the beginning. So we want to find a strategy. I am a big advocate, guys, of using a strategy like the first pullback, like a flag. And now have a check out some of my other videos. We'll talk about flag patterns, we'll talk about first pullback patterns, but I would pick something that aligns yourself with a kind of range expansion or a inside out type trade, a trend type trade. Personally, and again, this is personal opinion, I feel that the exhaustion type trades, something else that I cover, are a little bit advanced because you're trying to, it's sometimes a bit difficult to time them. Whereas if you're trading a first pullback trade, and very simply, it is, you know, we're looking for some kind of good strength, a pullback, and then a move higher. Very simply put. Now, it seems simple. It is simple. The key to it, to this working, is the conditions that go with it. So you want to find a time when this is a decent move. move, decent percentage move, or a decent number of pips move, you want to try and either find that as a pullback into a moving average. Just start off with, you can kind of tweak it, adjust it later, but the best thing for you is to kind of have a seed of a strategy, like, okay, I'm going to trade a first pullback, or I'm going to trade a flag, which is the other one here, very broadly. But then with your market on your time frame, so I don't know if you're day trading or swing trading, I'm just going to assume you're day trading, look at your 1 minute chart, your 3 minute chart, and see how often this kind of pattern occurs in the market. And then see the commonality in the attributes that occur with the market. So this is slightly different to saying like using a strategy and then kind of molding it. It's a case of, okay, look at the prior month of trading, look at the kind of patterns that are there, try and find something like this first pullback trade or a flag type trade or something in there, and then work out rules for your strategy based on that. Now, some people are going to say, well, that doesn't work long term. You're quite right, that long term will have limited lifetime. But if you're brand spanking new, what this does is it gets you to focus on the market. It gets you to focus on a strategy. It gets to align yourself. I'm going to give you some now, but I want you to come up with your own rules for your bias. In other words, you should go into the day, or if you're day trading this is, being only focused on taking a long or a short. So we're narrowing our focus down, right? You picked your market, say you pick the Dow, you pick your strategy, let's say you want the first pullback after a drive, or okay, it doesn't even have to be those guys, it could be textbook double top, yeah? Double top, could be textbook head and shoulders, irrelevant, whatever it is, just pick it, okay? Pick that. Now you want to pick your rules and bias. So the rules are, okay, what do I need to see to align myself? Right, I'm going to align myself on the short side only, and I'm going to wait until I see this, and it's going to have to have moved at least 100 pips in my favor, and it's going to have to be close to resistance. Those just 3 things. So you've got a checklist. You're like 1, 2, 3. Whatever they are for you. I don't want to kind of force my stuff onto you. I want to try and give you a little bit of a blueprint, if you like, to say, okay, if I do this, at least I can build something that works for me and aligns myself with your personality, because this might not be your thing. You might say, well, I prefer to trade a kind of range-bound environment. I prefer to trade overbought, oversold, stochastic in a range-bound. That's fine. You know, that can be anything you like, but make sure the market, don't skip that one. Pick one market, pick one strategy for now, and then pick your rules and bias for how you're going to trade. So if, for example, you were going to trade overbought, oversold, stochastic, align yourself with one only. And that is, let's say we're in an uptrend at the moment in the indices, say, okay, well, I'm only going to buy on an oversold condition with these rules. So now you've got massive structure and you're looking for one specific thing. And if you do that for a 30-day period, 45-day period, even a 10-day period, it's a good start. And what it means is you start to build data, you start to build discipline, you'll start to find yourself wanting to trade other stuff. So you're going to have to kind of build those discipline muscles for not wanting to trade stuff. You're going to want to jump on things that are outside of your remit, if you like, because there's your remit, there's your 3-stage process, and there's kind of some intricacies with that. But you're going to want to take stuff that's suddenly exploding or suddenly doing something, and you'll have to challenge yourself on that and learn how to not do that. But this is the kind of laying the solid foundations, if you like, before you start adding more layers on, more strategies, more markets, you know, more rules, more conditions, widening, broadening the conditions. Start off as narrow and as focused and as laser as possible with something like that. The first pullback is my favorite, but like I say, it could be double top, could be a stochastic. It doesn't matter at this point, because the challenge is, when you're first trading, is the fact that you go from here to here to here to here, and you trade on multiple different things. Commit to something, and the most important thing is that if you're trading that, stick to it. If you want to stick to it for 10 days, 20 days or whatever, just make sure you stick to it, even if you're losing money. Make sure that you're allocating a small amount of capital so you can afford to lose almost every single day and still be okay with it. Because this is a learning curve. It's not going to make you massive amounts of money, this. If you're lucky, it might do. It might make you some money, but that's not the point. The point is to develop a strategy that's working, then build on it. Then when you're talking a few months down the line, then you can start maybe adding more capital. Then you can start finding the strategy that's working well for you. Then you can start adding more kind of strings to your bow. That's little strings to your bow if you've got an existing strategy that's working okay, or wiping the slate clean if you're kind of advanced, but you want to add some stuff and mesh it together and get a bit of synergy. So that's that's what I would advise. It's a great question because a lot of people are struggling with that. A lot of people are kind of getting going and rolling, and they're just kind of, it can't get any traction. I know what it's like, guys. It's super, super frustrating. You see people saying this strategy works well, you try it, doesn't work. This strategy works well, try it, doesn't work. Find your own. Use those strategies those people are saying, whether it's mine or someone else's, it doesn't matter, but just narrowing that focus. That is what will give you a leap forward. That is what will really, really move the needle in your trading. Then you can keep moving it, keep moving it, keep moving it. Then you'll be leaps and bounds ahead of where you would be if you're just spinning your wheels, trading all sorts of different things, a scattergun approach for kind of months down the line, because that will just annoy you, frustrate you, and you might run out of capital in the end. All right, hope that helps. If it does, give it a thumbs up the video, and I much appreciate it. Any more comments, questions, all that kind of stuff, I'd love to hear from you. Take care. Bye-bye.